So we are Sunday, the 19th of October. Just checking my watch, just making sure that is the case. I'm in a different location today. Sunday, one of those days where you have to take your children to their club. So, but again, nothing stops me as such from doing what I need to do from wherever I am. So a nice early start for me this morning. I've got my coffee. I'm ready to go, ready for the game today. I hope you are. Now, yesterday, as I said, different mindset, different set today. Last night was a logical show as to can we win. Feeling automatically yesterday was absolutely not, but today is game day. Today is a different day. So this is an extra show I wasn't going to do on this morning, but whilst I've got some time to do it this morning, whilst I wait a couple of hours for my daughter to finish her club, I thought let's talk about Amorim's Part 2 conference. If you don't know how it works, then there's a press conference like a couple of days before, and then they split it into two. You've got the kind of first section, and then you've got the embargoed section. And basically, the embargoed section came out sort of last night, and it's just basically Amorim's Part 2 and Amorim's thoughts on the game today. So there was one or two questions asked, or there was one question asked that it just makes me shake my head as to these people get access to Amorim, get access to the club, and yet they absolutely drop the ball and they're let to ask their questions. Good morning, Scott. I hope the children are okay. I hope the sick bug or whatever it was has passed, or I at least hope that they're doing better, and hope you've not caught it as well. So game day, guys. What I'm going to say is if you come on here, this is one of the best communities. Absolutely amazing. Get in there with your chats. What I do here is I do try to read most of your opinions. They're getting better slowly, so hopefully, Scott, they'll be okay, my friend. One of the things that we do here is it's about respect. I respect your opinion. You don't have to respect mine, but I sort of hope you do. But obviously, respect the chat, respect the moderators, or guess what? You will be banned. We do have some of the best mods in the game, in my opinion. So yeah, Mark Harris. It cooled down. Where are you? So, I am. Yeah, it has, mate. I'm Essex, obviously. But this morning I'm in my car waiting for my daughter to finish her club. She's got another hour and a half. So it is a bit cold today as well. So, but I'm a softy southerner, so that's where we're at. Mark says that there should be a journalist that asks, how can you keep a straight face on payday for supplying mediocre results? And Mark, do you know what, Mark? Right, of the questions that are asked, Mark Harris is a legend of the chat. I would respect that. Now, the one thing I will always say about what I love about Mark on here, and Mark's been here from literally the first day, is that Mark always puts context behind the things that he says. Now, Mark is very, very Amorim out. I'm Amorim in, but less so these days. But Mark always gives context, and that's what I like about that. Now, Mark, as much as I, some of the questions are asked, and I'll tell you one of the questions that were asked, Mark, I'd rather ask that question. I think you've got an opportunity to ask questions, Mark, and I would genuinely ask that question. I'd ask, what is it? How can you come and say the things that you do, and we'll go through what was said. And I mean, there wasn't a lot of context, and there wasn't a lot of stuff which concerns me. 21 Savage, mate, US politics got no skin in the game, my friend. I've got no opinion on it, so there's no point in me even trying to form an opinion on it, because I don't have an opinion. but yeah, I'm sort of with you, Mark. I just wish I'd have no problems in people asking those sorts of questions. So one of the questions, Mark, and you can tell me and Scott and the chat is one of the questions that was asked at the very end was Rashford and the comments about him saying that it wasn't a an environment that was collaborative and wasn't and it basically wasn't a great place to play football. So those were the comments. Now, bearing in mind he doesn't play, like we all know, like I get it, and I do think that Rashford has spoken some truth. Rashford have to accept that he has his part to play, which I think he sort of does. But why would you ask that question? You got questions like Mark says there. Ask Amorim about how is he comfortable? you know, and I'm not asking about the payday stuff, but a version of that question. Why asking him about fucking Rashford? I mean, seriously, they've got this opportunity to grill the coach, grill him about these players. Ask him why Fernandez has been awful for 18 months. Ask him, why his head drops. Ask these questions about Luke Shaw. Why is he playing? Why is he so slow? No, no, you get questions about fucking Rashford, and I just, who gives a shit? Mark says so. Bienda, Shaw, and Maguire and plays. He's not taking his job seriously and is checked out with a back three at Anfield. Now, Mark, I'll be fair and I'll be consistent on this, Mark. If Amorim does that today and we get tanked, like, I don't need to be Amorim out. Amorim will absolutely sack himself. As I have said, if the moment I think for a second Amorim is putting his own thoughts, his feelings, his agendas before the club, which at the moment I don't think he is, but Mark, you may argue that, and that is your right to. Is that I will be Amorim out at that point. I am manager or player out or anyone out who puts their own agenda before this club and fans. As I said before, people have died playing for this club. We've had so many different people who've given their blood, sweat, tears over the years, and for these players to contribute to this mess. And Amorim, you can argue as well now, they'd have to go. So let's see what happens today. Hit the like button, people. Exactly. Give us a like, favorite, and subscribe. Look, I'm doing this from the car. What is your score prediction? I love your vids. Thank you, Footy Man 67. So yesterday, it's different to today, right? So I would say, look, yesterday I was saying we're going to lose 2-1, 3-1, right? I'm not going to be one of these fans who's going to sit here and say, oh, we're going to win 2-1, 3-1. Can we win? Yes, we can. We can win. I know we can. We can win. But probability and the way we're playing states that we don't. So I look, if we can come out of there with a draw, I'm happy. I want to see progression. So I think for me, score prediction wise, I think it's not so much a score prediction, because I think it's really, because if we lose but we play well, I'll take that. Now, that is an absolute pathetic statement from me to make, right? As long as we play well and we lose, I'm happy. I mean, what United fan should be saying that? But that's how low we've fallen. That is the situation. So I think Bluey Games, I think Footy Man, I think we draw. I'd love to upgrade it to a win. Mark Shit says hi, hello my friend. I'm hoping for a draw. If it's Liverpool before the international break, then I think we draw. I do. I think if if we're in a situation whereby we're drawing towards the end of the match, can we get a sneaky goal? And my answer to that will be yes. My answer to that will be yes. Um, but we've got to start fast. We've got to start fast. Now, this was the theme of Amorim's. True that international breaks have been messing up. It's true. It is true, Neil. You know, I think our statistic for winning games after the international break are awful. We don't win games. But I want to be positive today. Absolutely, you know me, logical until the very end, and I will say it as it is. I don't believe in just in being overly enthusiastic. I still maintain. I believe there's more chance of a loss than a win, but I think we've got a chance of a draw. But it depends on what Liverpool turn up. If Poole play how they have playing, it's game on. I agree with Scott. I do agree with him. I fancy United. I know it's Anfield, but Liverpool are vulnerable at the moment too. I agree with you. I agree, Mark. I do agree. As long as it's Liverpool before the international break, 100% agree with you. I do. I'm liking the positivity. Now, I want to win today. I absolutely want to win today. Shesko and Mbeumo and Isaac. I'm liking this, Scott. Come on, United beat the Scummers, Bert. Look, I am rolled up today. Look, this is a fucking derby, right? As much as I will sit here and say, I think we'll draw, more possibility of a lose. I'm fucking demanding a win. I want to win today. I absolutely want to win. Now, as Bluey Game says that we do show up for big games. The City game, we didn't, but we've got to show up today. Do I think that we will? I hope so. I want to win today. I'm demanding a win today. A draw, whatever. It means that Amorim survives another, but we did, if we come out like Arsenal, if we come out like we did when we played them, I think we've got every single chance of winning. Absolutely. A win would set the week right. Neil, I mean, can you imagine? We have a bad record after breaks too. Graham, Liverpool fan, welcome, my friend. Hope you're doing extremely well today. Liverpool fans, we do get a load of Liverpool fans on here. Absolutely, most absolute respectful. We love rival fans on here. It's all banter, it's all respect, it's all love. So welcome, my friend. Look, I think what is going to be clear today, I think it will be close. So what I think will happen, we're going to try to start fast, and I think that Liverpool will probably grow into the game, and then it's whether or not can we maintain it. If we can maintain it throughout the whole game, we give ourselves a chance. But we have to remember, Liverpool are dangerous. I mean, if you go through their side, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gakpo, Wirtz, Ekitike, Salah, I mean, Isaac. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, don't get me wrong. We've got, good players again. And we'll go through what Amorim said, but it's absolutely ridiculous. Mark Stewart says, a win against Liverpool at Anfield will be great for the fans and the club. I got Isaac in my striker. And Scott has scored some absolutely amazing goals with him as well. Neil says, LFC are dangerous, even with their banter years. They always turn up. Exactly, guys. They always do. Even Fergie struggled to beat them at times, and this is what people need to remember, which I'm sure this community does. Even when Fergie played Liverpool, it was always a derby, and what I mean is that results form, whatever you are in the present day was forgotten, because this is a derby. You have to, when you play Liverpool, you have to be at your best, because whatever Liverpool's faults were, they always turned up for the derby. So we've got to do the same. We've basically got to be Liverpool. Just don't let Bruno take any penalties. So Mark, I'm going to I'm going to shatter your illusions now. So the press conference. So there wasn't much to it, and I'll give you my opinion on it as well. I'll shift it around a bit. Even if we win, they'll go, you lost 7-0 in 2023. Look, some Liverpool fans will, but the majority of fans that come on here won't, because they know, right? A game is a game. They've taken that to the bank, and but a lot of some Liverpool fans will. Graham Rodgers says we have changed a lot of players, and it's taking time for them to settle in. They're great players, but we have a bit of vulnerability right now. Yeah, look, agreed. Look, Liverpool have bought for the future, right? They've bought that team. They've bought that team, and Scott, mate, if I was to sing, mate, I would be banned from this platform for crimes against humanity. Look, Liverpool are not playing particularly well, but they're there or thereabouts. I mean, it's scary. It is so scary. You're building a team for the future. You've rebuilt your team, and yeah. I may sing a chant before the game when I'm not in a car park. Yeah. So it's going to be a close one. It's going to be such a close one. Today, not Brett May says, can't wait for the United spanking today. always with the optimism there. As always, my friend. At least we got the LFC kid on the pavement that looks like this. Oh, Martinez returned from injury date was October 21st, 2025. Can't confirm it though. So I will go through the press conference as well. It looks like he's due back Brighton. He's due back Forest. Let's see if he comes back. I think Martinez, and I'll be consistent on this, I think he's could be a spent force, but we'll see. So what did Amorim say? So on the penalty front, Amorim basically said that Bruno's still going to take him. He come up with a stat that said 70 penalties. He's missed 9 and he's missed 2 in the last couple of games, right? I've tried Martinez in the CM role. He's very good. I think, Scott, I would play, just to conserve him and conserve his body, I would play Maguire. I would play Martinez in that CDM role. I would play him in that. You basically have him as an ultra defensive CDM, and you play him in front of that back four, and his job is to break up play, and not necessarily go forward, but kind of stay in and around, supporting basically the back three, and basically just being that is it a destroyer role. So he basically plays, that's his territory. He allows the other two pivots to do what they sort of need to do. But I think you're right. I think that's where I'd play him. I have to say that I admire Connor Bradley. I watched him for Northern Ireland against Slovakia. Really talented player for my wee country. Yeah, and the good thing about him is as well is at least he's chosen a country other than England. I'm not English, so I'm not scared to say that. So Bruno will be on penalties. I'm not surprised Bruno has missed 2 penalties, because if you look at how he's played and if you look at the petulance, I'm not surprised. So I think there is a correlation between his stubbornness this season, his petulance this season, and why he's missed 2 penalties. So let's just say Fernandez, what country are you from? I'm from the UK. I'm originally from Wales, but I live in England in Essex. If we want to win today, we need to play Kobe. He always shows up again. Look, Scott, I don't think Kobe's getting a look in today. Amrin didn't mention the team. The only thing he mentioned was Lamin's. I think he plays. He did say he can play with both feet. Binder wasn't mentioned at all, at all. So I think at least Lamin's starts in goal, and I think he's gonna go. I think he's gonna go. Look, I will be stunned. I will be stunned if he does anything other than what he's done. If we want to win today, we need to play Kobe. Yeah. So when he was asked about the game, he basically and one of the things that is starting to bug me, and I said this yesterday, is that it's the same stuff he says. We've got to start fast. We've got to come out. We've got to, like, it literally is the same old stuff every time. Now, he speaks very, very well, but I am getting bored. I'm getting bored of the I need to see something different. I need to hear him say about these players, that these players can, boost these players. That is the one thing I don't hear him do, is boost these players up enough. Now, whether or not we think these players are good, we still need to boost them, and we still need to get them geared up. And I think that's one of Amorim's flaws, is he can't. He's too not happy, but where's the fight and passion? And that's the one thing about him. And I'll talk about passion. I don't mean passion on the pitch, and you shouldn't need it, but where's the demand? Where's that fire? And I need to see that a little bit more from him. Blue Nose Legend of the chat, hope you're doing extremely well, JB. Now the long throws are back. Let's bring 4-4-2 and sod this 3 defender playing from the back. Poor results for the Blues yesterday. Let's hope I can get a 2-0 win to ease the pain. I hope so. Yeah, commiserations yesterday. I was thinking about you actually, and that game yesterday. So down the new background just jump scared me. Yeah, I'm in my car. Waiting for my daughter. Kevin says, smart beard, mate. This literally, mate, this is just, it grows. All I do is I'll trim it back. I'm never fully clean shaven. This is basically just how it grows. This is just my natural beard. I don't do anything to this beard whatsoever. It just sorts itself out. So they come out fast and can't hit the target. If Cunha and Mbeumo pull all the chances in the net, we'd be higher at the table. But Cunha is rather greedy, always wanting the glory. I think that's a fair thing to say. I have a different view on Cunha. I think Cunha is frustrated. I think with Cunha, I think it's not about the glory. I think at Wolves, because he was the main man and he basically made things happen, I think Cunha likes to pick up the ball and drive. And if you think about this team, I think Cunha's trying to drag this team forward. And I do think Cunha does need to have a word with himself about, maybe he does need to change up his play. So I would agree with you to a certain extent. I think Cunha needs to start thinking about how he impacts this team in more of a positive way. But I don't think he starts today. I think Mason Mount starts today. You should shave it. Will look better on you. I just, weekends are the sort of lazy things for me. So will I shave it before the game? I might give it a trim. I might give it a trim just for you. I might do that. Bart is a serious fan. Good morning. If Arnie Slot joined the chat and offered you 2-0 defeat now, would you take it? No. Because I want to win. Absolutely not. This is a derby. And I'd rather lose. I'd rather get absolutely hammered by going for it. That's just me. In life, I don't settle. I can't. I just can't do it. Like, you've got to give it all. Absolutely 100% not. Today, I want to win. I'm not gonna say we are, but I'm demanding a win today. These players need to. This is a derby. This is a derby. We absolutely cannot settle. I will not settle for a defeat today. If we play well and we lose, I'll go after the game. Look, we played well and we still lost. There's something there. But right now, no, no. Right now, where there's a chance, you have to go for it. So Slot can keep his 2-0. He can shove it. I might regret that, but no, I demand. But that's a good question. Can you believe Forest sacked their manager? I mean, managers don't get time nowadays, so I just find it incredulous. I find it ridiculous that managers are losing. But the only thing I will say, Marinakis is a little bit gun ho. Marinakis, as I said, is what's right with the chairman and what's wrong with the chairman, and I think you just don't know. I wonder, Scott, if there's more behind the scenes. But you know what you're going to get with Big Ange. So I think he need time. Forest can't afford time. I think Forest needed maybe a more experienced coach. I do think Big Ange was the wrong fit. But I still don't like to see managers sacked. Ibuka says Amorim made a statement by saying he's not going to let Xerxes and Manuel leave. He did. I'll get through the chats and then we can talk about some of the other things that he said. Phoenix said Cunha will be a better super sub today. Phoenix, I agree. I do agree on that one. But as a serious fan says, none of United's players have ever been on the pitch when their side won at Anfield. Mount and Shaw were on the bench for Chelsea and Southampton when they won at Anfield. They need to step up today. They need to make their own history. It is as simple as that today. They need to go out. They are against the Kosh. They're not favourites at all. They need to go today and they need to make their own history. They need to say, we've won today, back-to-back wins, and that can push them forward. That can push them forward. Look, I'm still not convinced. If we don't win, if we win today and then we lose the next game, we're not quite back to square one, but we are back to. So we need to win today. A win at home next week and a win today will set us up, and that's what these players have to do. They have to want it more. They have to know that the world is looking at them. They're going to be judged. They have to come out today. 17 of the last 19 goals in fixture have been scored by Liverpool. Yeah, but you're not, mate. These are facts, and I'm not going to disagree. United haven't won an away game in the league since April this year. Don't worry about Salah's form, as his job simply involves running and kicking a ball. United will obviously lose, mate. Look, football and stuff. Let us, or look. It might be obvious. Last night, a little bit pessimistic, but realistic before the game because I have to be. We have to do that as well. It's game day. It's game day. I'm not saying that we're going to win today, but I'm demanding a win today. This is a derby. We can't go into this game saying, "Oh, we'll lose," because we will. Hell no. This is a derby. I've got to support this team today, and I will. And there are players in this team that I don't think are right. But I want a performance to a man today. This is a derby. This is what I think. Even though sometimes I'm logical to a point whereby maybe I predict a loss, but I want to win today. This is a derby, and we have to do it. Wayne, legend of the chat, my friend. Good morning to you. I'd like to see more crosses into the box for Shesko. With his height, he could cause defenders problems. I will come on to that. JB, please take this as compliment, but you look like the love child of Keanu Reeves and Richard Gere. Look, it is. Look, I wouldn't take that any other way. Appreciate it. I get called many things, sometimes not very nice things. So When I get a compliment, you know, I'll always take it. How has Ange managed to get sacked twice in the last 6 months and Amorim is arguably worse? You'd have to ask the club. You get time if you're Amorim. Ange probably can't believe it. He wins cups, doesn't win games though. I truly expect Dyche to do well at Forest as this squad suits his style. It's just about keeping people above happy. Every manager needs time to bed in. I do agree. And Burma will not play in the World Cup after seeing his Cameroon side lose to Cape Verde, so he could have an entire summer off. I think that'd be great for him. Scott, he's playing Shaw and Maguire. Look, I don't think he will. Mark, if he does, then it's curtains, mate. Phoenix Caliber says, surely Amrin can see how weak this midfield is. Manu needs to play alongside along a signing like Elliot Anderson. Bruno cannot continue playing CM and offering nothing defensively. I do agree with that. If we win, where does that put us in the table? So if we win, the thing about it is it doesn't. I don't think it moves us like into the top four. It puts us, I think, is it 3 or 4 points off top? It would put us 2 off City and 2 off Liverpool. So even though I think we'd still be about 7th or 8th, there literally then would only be like 3, maximum 4 points in it. 4-2-1-2, they're there for the taking. Our United team to inflict some misery. They are so poor away from home. Salah has an excellent record against our team. He does, but we have to throw that out of the window today. That has to go. Whatever happens, we can talk about it after the game, and we will. I'll do a reaction after the show as well. But right now, all that has to, and I love the facts, and it's all true. I'm not going to disagree with it, but we have to put that to the side today. I don't care if Salah scored 1 million goals against us. If he doesn't score today, happy days. We have to go into this game. This is a derby. If we look, we're asking these players to get up. If we can't get up for the game either, and give it everything that we've got, and I agreed though, but Mike says, JB, I will go back to my comment about Northern Ireland. When I watched them against Slovakia and Germany last week, I saw passion, commitment, desire to win. And Mark, and that's it. And that's exactly it. We should, these players, when you're talking about passion, commitment, right? These players shouldn't need that. You play for United. You play for one of the best clubs in the world. You play for the best club in the world. You're playing for historic. You're playing for the badge. These players don't fucking know what it is to play for this club. Passion, commitment, and all that stuff should be standard. Should be absolutely standard. And then go out and express yourself. But Mark, you're right. Alisson's absence might boost the confidence of your attackers. He's the best keeper in the league since Schmeichel. I think you can have that argument. I'm not gonna debate that point, because ultimately, if you think that's true, then that's fine. I'd probably argue Petr Cech. I'd probably put Van der Sar in there as well. Who else has been good over the years? So I think Cech has got a case. I think Van der Sar's got a case. Is Alisson up there? Yes, yeah, he is. But I think that's an interesting debate that we could have. Amrin Palace says Ange getting sacked before the fans left the stadium. Wayne says Liverpool, my side, need to win as well today. Don't want an open gap with Arsenal. When's Lucha back? Lucha's pencil back for next week. Forest game. I think will he be back? I think more realistically, I think he'll come on as substitute at some point. But I think we'll see him after the international break. Bart says, with games gone, United are already 6 points off the top. Last season, Liverpool recorded twice as many points as they did. Phoenix Caliber, yeah. Wayne says Ange is not a good manager at all. Shouldn't have got the Forest job in the first place. Yeah, I do agree. I do agree. So, Amrin conference. Let's talk about that. So Amrin basically said that we need to start fast. Blah de blah de blah. I mean, look, Amarin, I like him. I like how he talks, but these conferences are becoming the same. They're becoming stale. You know, he's saying that we need to come out fast. We need to start fast. No shit. Like, those parts for me, I don't know whether it's the questions being asked. But look, the journalists that have access, IG Reels, look, Liverpool, supporter, my friend, welcome here. Perhaps you'll win today, but this is a derby. Everything goes out the window. Maybe it's the the questions that he gets asked. They are pathetic. These people have access to this club. Where are the questions? And we all know, of course, these questions, are they'll never be allowed to ask proper questions. They're tailored to the manager. They're tailored, to this rhetoric and spew of crap that this club wants. But it's boring. I like Amorim, but it's the same old stuff. We've got to start fast, blah, de, blah, de, blah, de, blah. So I didn't learn anything from that at all. And Amorim was just, just kidding. I've been a United fan all my life. Just nervous. I mean, come on, IG Reels. You can't big up Liverpool and then be a United fan. Look, nervous is good. Nervous means you care. Nothing against Liverpool at all. We get some of their best fans on here. We've got Wayne who comes on here. Wayne is an absolute legend. So we do get fans, but being nervous, I'm sure, damn well sure, Wayne would, even though he feels he would never say that about us and then go back. So look, stand by your guns. Stand by being a United fan. We win together. We lose together. We commiserate each other, particularly on here. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, Amorim, I didn't really learn anything, to be quite honest with you. As a presser, boring. He comes in and he smiles and he does all that stuff. I need more. I need more from Amorim. I need, especially, he basically said as well that Anfield is a cauldron, and but he says that we can win any game. I mean, these are just. I need more from Amorim. I need more. I need somebody who wants to, have a bit of fight. I'm not saying insult Liverpool. What I'm saying is, have a bit of fight, like have a bit of bite. You can come off with facts. It doesn't mean you can respect an opponent, right? And you can respect them even more, in my opinion, by saying things that are, you could say that, Liverpool are not playing well. I think they're there to be beaten. That's respect, because that they're a good team. You could say that, they've got, because Slot said that Isaac is at like 100%. You could say, well, and we've got Shesko. Shesko's equally as good. He's not, by the way, but why not come out and come out with fight? Because that does show respect, but it also shows these players what it fucking means to play for this club. IG Reels says Scholes just discourages me. The fact that a legend does this damn is stupid. Try being me and support Rangers, then you'll know what depression really is, Sir Jackie. Oh, mate. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And again, right, there's always somebody worse off than you. And Jackie does make a good point. We've still got 10 points, right? Rangers, they're not doing so well, are they? So I don't take comfort in knowing that Rangers are not doing well. But you are right, just to bring us back down to earth, So Jackie, you do make a good point. We could win every game if Bruno doesn't play the mad arse. Scott, agreed. Who should play there? Kobe. I think we absolutely need legs in there. I would admire Amorim if put Bruno in that 10, play Mainu and Ugarte, and look, they are the best that we've got, right? Just go for it. Just give these players a chance. At the end of the day, Bruno's a mad ass in the Sir Jim I'm a local lad. Champers, Bruno, you mad ass. Come on, mardy ass, champers. Bruno, you mad ass, champers. Come on, Bruno. We can win today. Just to be honest, mate, Rangers are shy. Even when I came to terms of it, it's hard, isn't it? Look, I'm not here. Right, I can't champers. I cannot, and I will not. Look, if teams are not doing well, it's easy for I think it's too easy of a win to call teams shite, right? It may be true to a degree, but I think it deserves a more in-depth discussion, right? And as a United fan, I'm in no position to be calling teams names, right? Rangers are not the team that they once were. Now, I remember, Gaza, Mark Haitley, McCoist. I mean, Gorham and goal, was it? Those days, absolutely immense days, and Diego, Celtic or Rangers. Look, I don't. The thing about it is that the rivalry between the two is so deep, right? It is so deep that I, as a neutral for that league, I can't pick between the two because I've got no skin in that game, right? So as a spectacle through the years, maybe not so much nowadays, what a game, and I can't pick two because I don't have skin in the game. So, I'm not trying to weasel out of the question, but I'm a neutral fan. I don't have any emotion attached to it. So I don't want to disrespect like other team because they're both behemoths, so you can take your pick. Phoenix Caliber says midfield is weak, need to keep Kobe inside Anderson or Baleba. I think we need no. I don't think it's an or. I think we need two, my friend. Rangers for me, Diego. Ajibu says Baleba played really well yesterday. Yeah. The problem with United, in my opinion, is being ran as a business and not a football club. So, Jackie, I've done videos on this, my friend, as to the problem. I think we're being run into the ground. I think you're right. I think right now we're being run as a business. Previously, we were run as a cash cow for the Glazers, but right now we're trying to fix the club by being run as a business, and it just doesn't work. And I've spilt coffee all over myself. I don't know if that's a good sign. I'm now covered in coffee, and it looks like I pissed myself. Honestly, you kind of look like Ryan Reynolds. Jesus, guys, honestly, you lot are being far too kind to me. I know I'm getting so much love on here. It is ridiculous. Appreciate it. Look, you guys are far too kind. I'll take it all day long. I just wish I had his money. Today is the day, man. CR7. Today is the day. Look, yesterday last night, it'd be a little bit more, blah blah. We'll probably draw these. No, no, no. Today is match day. Today is about winning. I expect Liverpool fans to be the same. I expect United fans to be the same today. Look, we can be grumpy. Let's be grumpy. Let's be grumpy. Like, I'm 42 years old. I'm a grumpy old man at the best of times, right? Let's be grumpy afterwards, right? I will do a show afterwards tonight. We can talk through the match. I'll be grumpy afterwards, right? But now, no. Today, you're right. Today is the day. Today is the day that we can do this. Scott says, JB Reynolds. Diego says, great answer, but Rangers are shite. Everything about look, whether or not that's true, I'm in no position. Our club is in no position to cast aspersions on anybody else, right? I'm the same, mate. I support Rangers. I don't have an English team. I like to see Newcastle do well because of family. Exactly. Ryan Johnston says, Arnie, Amorim's got to go. Should play a 4-5-1. Phoenix Caliber. Funny how we were all crying out for a CM in the summer. I don't see them signing 2 in January. Be lucky to get one of them. Anderson will probably be the cheaper of the 2. Phoenix, all I'm going to say ahead of the window, don't be spun around. We will go for cheap options. I think so Gallagher on loan. I think that's what we'll do. Talk of James Garner coming back. I think that we go cheap. And I think you're right. If we sign anybody, I think we go cheap. Anderson in the summer, Belieber in the summer. I think they've gone. I don't think we can get them. I said this during the summer. Belieber was a chance. Now I'm happy we didn't pay all of the money for him, but I'm with you. I'd love Anderson, but I think we need 2. I think what we did with the number 10s, I think we need to do with the 6 and the 8 or the 2 8s. So the January window, forget about it. We'll be spun around. We will do cheap. By the way, there is talk of Casemiro getting an extended contract. If Casemiro, it will tell you what this club will do if Casemiro gets his contract extended, and that will tell you everything that you need to know. Put the heating on, JB. Have to say I'm getting warmer in this. Pete says, insanity, bro. Same team, same result. Shaw, Bruno, and co expecting a big defeat. Hope you get a sip from your coffee. Yeah, my coffee at the moment is mostly over my crotch. Thank God it's cold, because otherwise that could have been a little bit painful. Look, Pete, it's true. It is true. The definition of insanity is doing the same bloody thing over and over again. We're going to see today. Amorim did say, so one of the things, and we said this last night as well, when Amorim said today, and he's basically giving you what he plans to do, is he's going to win the second balls. The plan is to relieve the pressure. Is they're going to pump the ball up to Šeško. Šeško's going to try to hang in the air and win that ball, and then we're all going to burst out and win that second ball. And that's what we said last night. That's what Amorim said yesterday. That's what our plan is. Our plan is to win the second ball. Sunderland, what you saw there, I think, is what you're going to see today. Is I think that how we get out from that press is he's going to basically kick the ball out, and that's why I think Šeško's key, and Šeško will play and not a false 9. Is we're going to try to win the second balls. We should start Cunha instead of Mount. I think I would do, but he loves Mount. If United wins today, you'll have to do a challenge. Well, set me a challenge then. Set me something. As long as it's a realistic thing, set me something. I'd be gippy if I spilt coffee over myself. It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. It's dried now, so when I go and get my daughter in a bit, it doesn't look like I've pissed myself, which is always good. Kenneth says, hi, hello, my friend. What are you all chatting about? United, Liverpool game. Feel free to get in your comments. Kenneth, it's a dogging channel. Well, my friend, got to do something different. We signed a midfielder who would come next year. Didn't you hear when he will turn 18? Oh, or Rixco, or whatever his name is, or Rixco. I can't. Him. From Colombia. We're signing these players now. Interestingly, Nicky Butt basically left because our academy's crap. And apparently, one of the things that Nicky Butt did say is that we basically don't play to win. We don't encourage winners. We encourage you've played well. So we'll nobody would want to see that. Nobody would want to see that, my friend. Nobody would want to see that. And I'd probably have to have an OnlyFans account because I'm going to make money off that. We'd rather play without a technical number 6 like Casemiro or Ugarte against, because instead play attacking midfielders. I think we need to fight fire with fire. Ken says, oh, not real sports. Sorry, I'm North. Oh, not real sports. Sorry, I'm North American. Are you trying to say that football is not a real sport? And I'm calling it football because it's not soccer. It's not soccer. Okay. Football was invented before NFL. NFL, helmets, pads, ice hockey, so basketball, is that even a real sport? When we're talking about real sports, we invented rugby. Your NFL stars could not play that game. 100% not. And soccer, when you're talking about a real sport, mate, if I've seen many American like Rogan, is it on his podcast, he's bigged up football. If you talk to a couple of American stars, I've seen this of NFL, they say that football is one of the most athletic sports. So Kenneth, I think you'll find, my friend, that it's more than a real sport. Sub coming in, loving the tube. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, my friend. I'm only joking, Kenneth. It's a United channel. Did you watch Ronaldo's goal yesterday? It was definitely push gas weather. I didn't see R7. I didn't, my friend. I'll give it a watch. Used for breeze spray and a hairdryer. Isn't Kone similar age? These 18-year-olds aren't going straight into the team. They're not. But our academy doesn't teach winners. Our academy basically wants people to do well, and it's all about taking part. I mean, how do you make winners? Why has everyone stopped talking about Humland? I think people have stopped talking about him because obviously the window's shut. And maybe that Humland talk will come back. Love Rogan. I suspected that you did, Scott. Spam equals banhammer. Scott is the banhammer master. He will get on. So guys, I am going to go. I'm going to go and pick up my daughter now from her gymnastics, and Danish friends, Danish friends, Danish friends. Brilliant. I love it. Oh, Danish friends. I wish to see a swamp hat trick. Okay. Interesting. Shesko, I know what you meant. Auto text does me all of the time. The amount of things that I've sent is crazy, right? So guys, I am going to go. This was an extra show I didn't really plan to do on today, but amazing show again, guys. I love it. I'll be back about 3:30-ish to do the watch along. Please watch the goal. I will, as soon as I've finished this stream, I will watch the goal. See you guys at 3:30. You're a legend, mate. Have a good one. Thank you, my friend Phoenix. Legend. I'll always say this, guys. This channel is nothing without you guys, without your support, without you watching this channel. I do believe that we do things differently on here. So tell as many people as you can. Let's get this community bigger. Let's get this channel bigger, and we can overtake the world on this channel. So guys, I'll see you in a bit. I'll see you this afternoon if you can join. Amazing. If not, I'll do another show tonight. And the slaves, they're doing all right, mate. Doing all right. Doing all right. I'm even thinking about letting them go and actually being nice again. But if I do produce merch at some point, then I'm gonna need them back. So they're fine. They get fed their slice of bread a day. They're doing well. John Frank says hi. Hello, Frank. Hope you're doing extremely well, my friend. So guys, I am going to go picking up my daughter. If you can join for the watch along today, please do. And then I'll do a reaction show tonight. And let's hope that let's hope it's a good one. Master Defang, legend. Thank you for saying hi. United, exactly. So let's get buoyed up. We'll thrash Liverpool. Look, I hope so, and that is what we need now. We need to be positive. We can beat them, and we can do this today. So I'll be back at 3:30 roughly. Might be before that, and I'll see you guys in a bit. So have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you guys are, and I will see you today. See you later. Take care, guys.